Hello.
Yeah.
Test. Mic test.
Hello.
That's pretty sick. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
We just lost 2 council members. Watching the Sark interview or what?
Maybe.
You ready, buddy?
Yes, sir.
You ready? You ready? Alrighty, folks. We're gonna go ahead and get started. It's streaming hotline. Call meeting to order at 7:07 p.m. All members are present. We'll stand for the pledge and pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor, you want to do the prayer for us?
Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this moment. We ask that your presence be in this room. We ask for order in this room. We ask, Father, that you strengthen every council member. Release your wisdom in this room and continue to bless the citizens and community of Barton, Texas. We give you thanks in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
We're doing something.
We didn't see any citizens communication. There wasn't any citizens communication signups tonight. Hello. No citizens communication signups tonight. Moving on from that. Boards and commissions and committees, presentations and proclamations. Item number 1, Cemetery Committee monthly update. Mr. Rosendo?
Cemetery committee.
Or Mr. Jones, I'm sorry.
Weather been bad, we really haven't got a whole lot done out there. And things is still on our agenda. We're talking to the city about that fence and everything.
So nothing to report this month due to weather and waiting for bids. Okay, item number 2, Tyner Memorial Library Board monthly update. Ms. Susan, you want to do that?
We have 131 visitors, 12 intakers, 64 books were checked out. We had 15 people come in to use the computer labs. We had a total of 6 programs, National Night Out, Winston Women's Group, Westside Agri-Life Trees, Woodswood Bulldogs, and Halloween Candy Give Out. We had 66 program attendees and $126 per hour.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. A busy month at the library. That is all volunteer ran. 100% ran by volunteers. Item number 3, Municipal Development District MDD monthly update. Teresa, you doing that?
What?
MDD?
Yeah. Sorry. This month we were credited $1,874.60. We had 4 debits. Okay, one is for $4,000. 2 $2,000, 4,600, and 5,000.
Thank you.
These are for city, help with certain city projects, and I believe there was also some the right project that we were, working on.
So these were checks written out for the grant, the facade grants and stuff like that you guys
Yeah.
agreed to do. Perfect. Thank you.
And I think one of the city.
The pavilion slab, I believe,
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
at the park.
Thank you. I don't have my glasses.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Moving on, Parks and Facilities Committee monthly update, Mr. J.
Sure thing. Yeah, go ahead.
So, Mr. Weaver.
Basically, the MVD board did provide funds for us to get the slab at the park at the pavilion replaced, so that's nice and safe now. We've done some renovation here at the city hall. We've gotten the floor replaced in the other portion of the building, which now it's not like a mountain range in there anymore. We're in the process of remodeling the kitchen and stuff, and then moving ourselves forward toward this room here. The library, we've been seeking, of course, volunteer hours there, but we're also in the process of putting together pricing and stuff so we can bring to the council as far as replacing the air conditioning, roof repairs, and things like that. Water facility at the water treatment plant. We have we're ongoing with some upgrades over there and some defining a better definition of what our current controls are capable of doing. We'll have that stuff ready to hear hopefully in the next couple of weeks to where all that will be 100% like it's supposed to be. So a lot of things happening with facilities, and we'll just continue on and keep you guys updated.
Perfect. Thank you. Mr. Weaver, anything to add, Mr. Resendez?
No, sir.
Moving on. Consent agenda. We'll go through all these together. There's 4 items here. Well, we'll do them all, then we'll approve them all at one time underneath one motion. Number 5, receive monthly department reports. Mr. Resendez.
Yes, sir. I'll discuss most of the city administration portion in the regular agenda, but one bullet point there is from our last regular council meeting, we attended a MESA conference. That's the Municipal Electric Service Association, hosted by LCRA, our wholesale energy provider. And that was a great experience for Mayor and I as we got to interact with LCRA officials and other municipal electric providers. And the biggest takeaway from that is the opportunities for mutual aid agreements with these other providers as well. So in the event that we do have a severe emergency, we can call on these municipal providers for their equipment and manpower to assist in a big outage. So that was a good experience to have, and we'll continue to attend that conference every year moving forward, so long as we're with LCRA. On the city secretary side, the November 8th election was here. We had early voting for Williamson County, not Bell County, and election day was both counties. The city did not have any ballot items for November 8th, but we will have one again in May. That's going to be our next election date, is in May. On the municipal court, court was held on October 25th. Prosecutor Doug Montgomery was present. 81 new citations were turned in for this month. That's a pretty significant uptick. 18,742 were collected for October of 2022. $11,017 was kept by the city. 7,726 was paid to the state. MVBA, our collection agency, they collected $400. That's what I got there. Permits. Let's see. For the month of October, $7,578 in permit fees were collected. Of that, $4,618 were commercial. 100 was refundable demo deposit. $2,960 for residential. We had $770 worth of inspections, $332 worth of plan reviews. 17 total permits were issued, 5 of those commercial, 12 residential. We have 4 commercial permits pending review, and ATS completed 12 inspections. So we had a good uptick in commercial activity for the month of October. Okay. Utility billing for the month of October, there was a total of $221,870. Vast majority of that was related to residential utilities, $171,000. Commercial was just shy of $40,000 at $39,000. We had $650 worth of deposit revenue, 3 new residents, 2 disconnects, and 31 households on payment plans for the month of October. Public Works, we can touch on a little bit when we discuss the Peach Street wastewater. And finally, the police report, they had 217 event counts.
Say how many?
217.
Chief here? No, just Walkie, thank you. Thanks, Walkie.
We had 106 traffic stops. That's the majority of them out of the 217, and there's a long list of other ones there, but that's all that.
Okay, item number 5, that was item number 5. Moving on, item number 6, approved minutes from the following meetings. It's in your packet. It's October 10th of 2022 regular meeting. Item number 7, approved Tyner Memorial Library policies and procedures. Do we need to discuss that in your packets as well? The library board met this past week and has provided some of these some new policies. For those that don't know, the library was closed for quite a few years. How many years? 4, 5? Quite a while. And we just recently reopened it this past year. And so we're trying to get everything back in running order over there. And the ladies and the gentlemen of the board are doing a really good job getting us back in lines. When they get done there, they can come work on the city. Anything on item 7 to discuss? So item 8, approved Tyner Memorial Library bylaws. Also in your packets. So that includes the consent agenda with 4 items, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Any questions, concerns, comments, motions?
I make a motion to accept these. Consent agenda.
Off the whole consent agenda, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mr. Weaver made a motion. I think Jesse already seconded, right? Jesse seconded. All in favor? Carries 5-0. Thank you. Item number 9, public hearing ordinances. Number 9, public hearing to grant. These aren't time stamped, are they?
Number 9, it starts at 7,
Okay.
and number 10 starts at 7:20. So we're good to start.
Okay. All right. Item number 9, public hearing to grant variance special exceptions in Williamson County Appraisal District property ID number R007706-S3078, ARB Bartlett, Block 61, Lot 1, acres .255, also known as 805 West Elm Avenue in the city of Bartlett, Texas, to permit an R2 duplex and apartment zone area regulation variance. We've discussed this property a few times. I believe this is Mr. Benitez's property. Joseph, if you want to fill us in on what the variance request is. Just a public hearing tonight. There will be no action. This is for the citizens who choose to have comments.
This would be a variance to provide a setback variance for Mr. Benitez, given that the right-of-way is running through a significant portion of his property. As Mayor mentioned, we've discussed this property a number of times, so I think we're all quite familiar with it. And the purpose of this hearing is to allow any citizens that were within a 200-foot radius of this property, they were mailed a notice. That was also included in the packet. And this is the opportunity for them to speak on the matter for council to hear their thoughts on it. So with that being said, if there's anybody in attendance tonight that would like to speak on this hearing item, now would be the time to do it.
I want, so I want you guys, I don't know if you really look at all this what I asked him, the map, what do you call it,
Survey?
the survey, yes.
Mhm.
You can see and now the measurements. I mean, you guys can see for the house or duplex or apartment is more space. What I want is just give you this copy that you can see it. But I asked you a long time ago for the exception.
Mhm.
This what Chef the Mayor, you don't explain last time. And I want you guys to explain exactly the mission because I was trying to follow the rules. But you guys asked me for the missions. You can put it the picture over there if you want.
Mhm.
And to the front because it's the corner block, right?
Mhm.
I expected you representatives going to explain the last time to me like you told me. But anyways, you can see I follow the rule. It's 25 feet from the front, and then 10 feet from each side. It's not wrong because the electric post is right there. You said if you guys allow me to put a house, you're gonna remove the electric post. It's in my way because I don't want to put it down on my pretty much on the top of my house, so or the porch, whatever.
Mhm.
And other things, I really never I say I'm gonna cross. The only reason I say I'm gonna get the road is because I have no space. Always I get the doors crossed here. Also, one more thing is very important for me and my family. I don't want those kind of intimidation for me, like no more. Like last time, who's in the school, like Rose called me. I get the record the call. I record the call. What they say, Mr. Chip, he complains about the fence. I'm building the fence. When you guys give it, I give it a permit for it. It's my site on him. It's my phone is the elm, the two lots, 1 and 2 is the elm. That's my phone.
Mhm.
I mean, in the site, I don't know why I cannot build the fence, right? They say you complain about the fence, you're gonna give me violations and tickets and whatever. And he say the school, she was in the school. Then I told I wanna go check out the school, and I give you the letter, right? But they say in the school, it's not. I mean, why you guys don't be honest? Like I said, just be honest all the time. I want the kind of intimidations also. Talking about that man right there, the police, the officer right there. He at the first time he knows when the neighbor removes my marks for the first time, long time ago. I get those dates already. He say he's lying. He say he get the easement. I told him, can you provide me the easement? You told me or no? You guys get an easement on the road.
Well,
I mean,
Mr.
this
Benitez.
thing needs to stop. Yeah, exactly. I don't want this kind of intimidation. Let it on there because I complain. I say, okay, I'm gonna find it. That really say easement.
Mr. Benitez,
He's still going by and trying to intimidate us and my wife, saying somebody called 911. I mean, he asked me, why or not?
Mr. Benitez.
Mr. Benitez,
Mr.
It's good. I mean, what I'm talking about, I don't want those intimidations no more.
we understand.
No more.
We've
Because they
we've been over
scare
this.
me, scare the family, scare everybody,
Understand, sir.
especially the neighbors. I want to finish that.
We're here tonight for the item on the agenda for the public to come and have an opinion about giving the variance to you on your lot. As far as I know, there's nobody here to speak on that. So what you're discussing right now, we've already talked about it 2 or 3 times already in the
Well,
previous months.
And it's still
And we know. We're there, we know what's going on. We're all aware of it. But we're here tonight to discuss the variance and that's all we can discuss tonight, okay?
I respect it.
Okay.
Just, I will tell them myself and everything. The guy, and talking about the tattoo, he's now going with the other guy.
Yeah,
He's working
we,
very fast on my driveway.
Okay.
And that man that's what I want to tell the police. Check them in.
But if that's a police matter, you need to take it up with the police outside of this meeting, okay?
Okay.
Feel free to contact Chief Holt,
Okay.
Officer Squawky, or Officer Clayton, or Hernandez. We have 4 police officers. You're welcome to call those guys anytime and file a report. Okay.
I was trying to find Mr. Chief to make the report, to make all those things, but never I go 2 times there and I find close to his place. Anyway, I'm gonna find him.
Okay,
Oh.
and tell them, because I hear videos and everything, that man is just shooting right in the middle of,
okay,
we're talking about other guy, friend to the other. The thing I had to report it before something
okay.
happens.
So we need to move on from this
And I get
from this
videos, I get all
discussion
the.
back to the ordinance, to the
Okay.
variance, I'm sorry.
Okay, good.
Okay, any other comments from the citizens?
Look it up, anyways,
Okay,
that's,
and here's,
that's what I wanna say.
you need this drawing, sir?
You know about all this?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Just, what I was asking, just for the manufactured house or whatever you guys wanna give me, just let me build something like that, that's what I want. Not get problem, nobody.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you, sir.
And I
Appreciate
appreciate
your comments. Any other questions, council?
If you can just state what time the hearing concludes.
That hearing, started at 7:19, and it concludes at, sorry, maybe 7:26. Foxborough, what have you been doing all night?
Nothing, apparently.
All right, item number 10, public hearing. Bear with me, folks, this is a pretty long one, we have to read every bit of this, so, sorry. So I got 2 bottles of water. Item number 10, public hearing to rezone approximately 3 acres from B2 General Business District to R3 House Trailer District. Oh, I'm sorry. From B2 General Business District and R3 House Trailer District to B1 Retail Business District, downtown area regarding the following properties. Williamson CAD R3 27682-S3160, Bartlett, City of Block 10, Block 13 through 15, acres .5165. Williamson CAD R007537, S3160, Bartlett, City of Block 10, Lot 12E, 76 feet. All lots 3 through 12, acres .8907. Williamson CAD R007536, S3160, Bartlett, City of Block 10, Lot 1 through 2, the west 54 foot, acres .0735. Belcad 198158, Bartlett Bartlett Original, Block 009, Lot .1 through 3, east 25 feet of 1 and 2, and south 30 feet of east 25 feet of 3, acres .075. Belcad 10449, Bartlett Original, Block 009, Lot .1 through 3, west 25 feet of east 50 feet of 1 through 3, Belcad 20384, Bartlett Original Block 009, Lot 10, 11, Part 12, west part of 12, City Hall. Careful what you ask for. This place is a mess. Belcad 20383, Bartlett Original Block 009, Lot .1 through 3, 12, west 80 foot of 1 through 3, and east point of 12. That's all.
That's it.
Where's that city hall?
I'll pull the map up. right
You'll
here.
pull them out.
It gets split by,
Oh, I know.
So this is, to simplify this for everybody, we're talking the property across the street, which is considered the old lumberyard development, and these 2 properties right here, correct?
I got it. You can look up there. These are the Belcat properties that were listed. These 4 right here. And that's the satellite image. It's kind of hard to tell, but this is City Hall. So it's a City Hall property and the 2 buildings right next to us here, the old Tribune building and the smaller building next to it. Again, those are the Belcat properties. On the Williamson County side, it's the mixed-use redevelopment project across the street, the lumberyard. It's this parcel, and this is the old utility building across the street. So utility building, lumberyard, and the smaller component right there underneath it. So 1, 2, 3, the Williamson County side. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the Bell County side.
So the city hall is basically where we're sitting right now, the way this lot is divided. It's not owned by her. It's just being rezoned in this whole basically extending the downtown district this far.
So this navy blue is the current downtown district. This potential rezoning is related to this area here, and this area right here. So, and the reason for that is the downtown zoning is the only zoning within the city's ordinances that allows for mixed use, meaning you can have commercial and residential within the same area, which is what's being proposed across the street. So in order for that to get a CO for the proposed use, it needs to have the proper zoning associated with it. That's the mixed use zoning.
So same thing, this is a public hearing for this. Any citizens' comments?
And that starts out with that.
That will start at immediately after the last one, 7:27. So, we're done. Any citizens want to speak on this variant, or not, I'm sorry, it's a rezone. Once again, this is one of those things where it's just part of it, that we have to do this anytime we rezone anything or get a variance. So many footage radius has to get letters in the mail, and then we have to post this in the newspaper, I believe, at the same time for a specific number of days, have the hearing, and then in the next meeting, that's when it'll come to the council vote. So, anyone want to speak, say anything? If not, we're going to move on. Speak now. Very good. Move on at 7:33. All right. So we're moving on now to the regular agenda. Review, discuss, and consider action items. Item number 11, discuss, review, and take any necessary action related to host agency agreement for the AARP Foundation Senior Community Service Employment Program. Who's speaking on that? You or Susan? Susan? You speaking on this one?
So when Eric Ashley was in the plan, and he came down to speak to the board, he brought up this program that's allowed through the federal government. And the federal government works through AARP if they're trying to get seniors back to work. And so they will, the government pays seniors anywhere from 18 to 22 hours a week. They cover everything on comp. They're the ones that pay the back. And the reason for it is to try to re-educate and retrain senior citizens who may be looking for long-term employment. So it's for anyone who's age 55 and over, and it would be a great way for us to get some paid employees at the library, so that the volunteers are not working there all the time. But it's also a great way to support this community. And I feel like that there can be plenty of people that they're not looking, for the, they don't necessarily want to work 40 hours a week, but they would love to learn some new skills, and this is an opportunity to learn computer programming, because I'm also able to take classes on Excel and Word, things like that, for signing up for this program. And again, I think it's a win-win for the community, it's a win for Tyler, it can be a win for the city, because there's no cost out of their pocket. And I just hope that you consider it, and we just keep it on.
Correct. From my understanding, these would not be employees of the city of Bartlett. They are paid directly from AARP, I believe, is it, or from this program?
It'll come straight from the federal labor board. That's just AARP is the organization that is sponsoring.
Gotcha.
So once people become a host agency, they do all the interviews, they do the testing to make sure that they meet all the criteria. There are some poverty level guidelines that we go by, and they do all the prep work for us, and they have good candidates that we can work for us, and we can interview them, and we can keep them up for 4 years.
And so a rough example of this program would be like a temp agency, roughly speaking. And as Ms. Susan mentioned, this would be a great pilot program to use at the library first to help staff some of those needs. But there's the potential to expand that to other smaller city operations. And we can certainly explore depending on the results of the library.
It won't cost the city anything. I just say that again. It does not cost us anything.
Is there a cost to the city? So do we need a motion to approve, to move on this agreement or?
Yes,
or not?
we do.
Yeah, we do. I'll make the motion that we sign the host agreement with the AARP Foundation.
Weaver's made a motion, and I believe Gail Jones has seconded that motion. First employee, Jones. He's only 54 years old. What are y'all talking about? All in favor? You better be careful, man. Motion carries 5-0. All these surgeries you've had, you might be one where I think you can still shelve some books. I don't know about putting windshields in anymore, but.
Put it in the ditches.
Item number 12, discuss, review, and take any necessary action related to Tyner Memorial Library Board of Trustees appointments.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. This, I can start off this agenda item. The current board is composed of 5 members. And with the bylaws that were just adopted by both the library board at their November 9th meeting, and that was just approved by council during the consent agenda component of tonight, council can appoint and remove TML board members at any time as is deemed fit. With that being said, there is one member of the board, after consistent effort to try and coordinate schedules, Ms. Jacqueline Atkins Carter, who was appointed on October 11th of 2021 with a 2-year term that ends October 1st of 2023, so 1 year from last month. The request has been made to relieve her of her duties on the board and open that position up for applicants. So, and the reason is, as you know, 5 board members is good, and it allows room for special meetings, you know, where you have to have a majority, super majority of folks. So if one person is missing or one person is consistently absent, it makes it difficult to conduct business and conduct meetings and with 4. Right, yes, sir. So, are there any questions from council or?
They're set to go on the second Thursday of every single month, but throughout the last year, there's also been other special call meetings, or meetings were moved to different dates.
This past year,
Yeah,
they had a
Michelle?
meeting on December 1st of 2021, January 1st, 2022, April 14th,
This one?
2022, April 21 of 2022, April 28th of
I got
2022,
it pulled up.
June 8th, July 13th, July 27th, August 10th, September 28th, October 12th.
Would anybody?
So I don't think we're trying to take this lightly. I mean, it's a pretty consistent inactivity, not just for meetings, but people activity. And we have an opportunity for other volunteers or the people in the community that might want to be more active and be a part of it. And that's what we would like to have, so it's going to be on the board. Last year, she's only made 3 meetings. Only made 3 meetings in last year.
And no communication via email regarding her plans or thoughts, ideas about communication. And no communication.
So basically, this would be removal of one and then open it up to the community for applications to replace that one during the next regular meeting.
Okay, I make a motion that Lisa Jacqueline Carter Atkins be removed from the Conant Memorial Library Board of Trustees, and then we open it up for applications.
Ms. Cooper has made a motion, and Jesse Luna has seconded that. All in favor? Motion does carry 5-0.
We will bring that back to council at the next regular meeting.
So you'll put out a notice, as we always do.
Do you have any potential?
Oh, we have a volunteer, she's worked on time leadership, she's been in the community for her life. And she's very active, she normally comes to those Allen meetings, and then she volunteers for the
But at the same time, we got to open it up to the community for other applicants. Item number 13, discuss, review, take any necessary action related to mobile food establishment permits. We've discussed this a few meetings also.
I've got the draft pulled up. For the- I think we're okay. So last we discussed the long-term mobile food establishment permit would be issued for the calendar year. They will be prorated for remaining months in the calendar year. The application would require the property owner and the applicant, if that's different from the property owner. Calendar year 23, the fee would be $8 per month per mobile food establishment. In calendar year 24, the fee would be $12 per month per mobile food establishment spot, basically. The current fee would be $25 per spot per MFE. So you can see it's a significant savings, this is what this is. It's an incentive program to have more mobile food establishments in town as a way to bridge the gap from having a brick and mortar food establishment to something a little bit more mobile and sustainable. Some of the requirements would be an active and green tag electric meter. Water connection must have a vacuum breaker, and the mobile food establishment may not dispose of gray water into city sewer under any circumstances, and this is to prevent any grease buildup in the city's wastewater system. The site information, the name of hosting business facility, requiring a site diagram, and a few of the other description notes. It may not be placed on public parking lots, streets, access drives, fire lanes, or improved alleys, and several other items. Verification of other permits and inspections. Basically saying that it needs an approved permit from the city to operate, which has its own individual permit requirements, which will be met through this draft permit here, and the county requirements for the health district. And that if any of those conditions aren't met, then the MFE permit will be revoked. There's an enforcement measure within it. And then a signature at the bottom.
Any questions, council?
Yeah, based on what we heard the other night was the health, and everybody, the individual counties, they have that permit posted on there on the mobile truck, or how does that work? Yeah. Or do they return that to the city, how do we know what it is?
I think they posted outside.
Well, as a condition of the permit from the city, we collect all of that information, sales tax, county certifications, and so forth. So there's a list of items that would be needed before we would issue a permit.
Like a city representative, all that.
Yes, sir. So basically by showing the permit, it's showing that they have all of those requisite items to operate.
That's something that probably doesn't need to know. Well, it's got to be visible, this way the state inspectors come, they can see it, it has to be visible.
Yeah, I think your tax ID number and your health department have to be posted where the public can see it.
Your, especially for your fire suppression system, it has to be visible towards that.
Well, the fire marshal did say, in regards to that, that if say if they're from Round Rock or Williamson County and they have done an inspection in Williamson County, I think it's renewable like every year, so as long as they got everything posted,
Mhm.
they're good to go and they don't have to be re-inspected every time.
Just once a year.
Yeah, one of the duration.
They said if
That's Williamson County.
they said I believe it has a city of Round Rock or any other major city within Williamson County. It's the same as having Williamson County Fire Marshal's approval because they follow the same guidelines. Yes, sir.
Any questions? Concerns?
Mhm.
We need food.
The only other comment before any council member makes a motion is the effective date of this. You know, given that we have a month and a half left of calendar year 2022, does this permit want to take effect upon adoption or beginning calendar year 2023? Just a thought.
My recommendation would be calendar year.
So with an effective date of January 1, 2023.
How would that work with your?
Wouldn't affect the paperwork. It's just more so makes it a little easier to administer when you have the start of the fiscal or calendar year. Excuse me. Mhm.
Council?
I make a motion, we accept the mobile food establishment permit effective January 1st and to run calendar year.
Got a Vicky Cooper motion and a Mr. Philip Weaver second. Vicky Cooper motion. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. City ordinance
For the permit?
for the MFE.
We're talking about it.
Item number 14, discuss, review, and take any necessary action related to requests for proposals, RFPs, for the utility rate study. Mr. J.
Thank you, sir. So we are looking to go out for proposals for utility rate study. Previously, we were considering all three of the city's utilities: water, wastewater, and electric. However, we received an update from the Texas Rural Water Association that one of the perks of their membership is water and wastewater rate study services. So they sent me the quote for membership for the new calendar year, and that is $1,805. And what that includes, the value of their membership, but really it's right here: leak detection services, flow meter testing, generator loans and emergency response, water, wastewater mapping and asset management, tank inspection and UAV services, rate studies. That's the one most prevalent to this agenda item. That's what we're discussing. And a variety of other things in there. It includes some great training and apprenticeship program benefits as well. So it's a really, really great association to be a member of. When I spoke with them, they said the city's membership expired in 2009. So it's been quite some time that we've been with them. But, you know, when you compare the cost of membership versus the benefits of membership, I think it's well worth its dollars. And again, it says right here, Texas Rural Water Association offers free rate studies for your utility. And let's see, there's 1.1 of it mentioned. Utility staff to gather the system's financial information and annual budget and or audit and the capital improvement plan to accurately project the needed revenues for the system. So we've been collecting all that information up to this point. So we've been building up to this. With that being said, if council approves to pursue a water and wastewater rate study through Texas Rural Water Association, that would be the motion to make. We will develop an individual and separate electric rate study RFP that we can do separately. And that will allow us to potentially get a vendor that is more in-depth and focused on electric as opposed to one vendor that may not have the depth of experience across all three utilities. So it's going to be a little bit better for us, especially as the electric side. We need more attention, so to speak. There's just so many other components that the city has not implemented over the years that we'll need to start implementing. So it's going to be in our best interest to have them do separate items.
Any questions? So the name of this Texas Rural Water Development,
Rural Water Association.
Rural Water Association.
Make that motion.
Sorry.
You want to motion?
Gail Jones has made a motion for the city to rejoin Texas Rural Water Association
Yes.
at a cost of, what was it?
You probably thought it was
1,800.
1805 or something, $1,805. Mr. Cooper has made a second. Too slow.
No, I said it.
All in favor?
You really said so.
Sorry, I read it. Motion carried 5-0.
I can hear over here. You have to speak up.
I didn't hear you.
Who seconded?
Vicky. I gave to Vicky, apparently.
You gotta have fun.
Speaking of fun, there is some Hawaiian pie up there at the days. And it's lots of fun.
Item number 15, discuss, review, take any necessary action related to city employee cost of living adjustment, COLA implementation for the fiscal year 2023. This was actually approved during the budget season. When we approved our budget this year, we kind of put it on pause because of our last audit, the city's audit. And now we're bringing it to the table for council approval to go ahead and implement at y'all's choice discretion, up to 8%, full 8%.
Is that what's going on right now? 8%?
It's a little over 8, average 8.6 or something was the fiscal.
That's what it is, man.
The
Go ahead,
CPI.
Mr. Jeff. Justice got some details here.
So during the budget process, we calculated for the 8% for the full fiscal year, be approximately $73,500. We have, again, because of our 2021 audit, we decided to put a pause on that for further discussion, which is why we're discussing it here. So this COLA has not been implemented yet. If we did a 4% for the full year, that would be half that cost, so $36,700 for 4%. If we did 4% for half the year, that's $18,300 basically. So one potential path here is to split it up essentially. If we did 4% cost of living adjustment now, implemented at our next pay period or next paycheck, which would be next Friday, and then at March of 2023, which is halfway through our fiscal year, based on an evaluation of the city's financials at that time, we could potentially implement the remaining 4% from March through the end of the fiscal year. So 4% now to March, and an additional, potentially an additional 4% from March to October for 2023. Same fiscal year, but the next time. And that would potentially be just about $55,000 for the whole year. So as opposed to the $73,500 that we anticipated for the full 8% for the full year, that recommended strategy would be $55,000 for the fiscal year. So that's about a almost $20,000 savings.
And the reason upon the discussion of this tonight is because we did, in our last meeting, we got our 2021 audit back from the auditor, and we took some pretty hard hits in 2021 that we did our budget for this year prior to the audit getting back, just because the auditor is so far behind. And we took some pretty hard hits. That's the year of Uri, the ice storm. And so we know where all the hits came from, but it's, you know, auditor recommendations to kind of start trying to save some money, trying to build up the fund balance before we get into too much trouble. So The color raise, I asked, whenever we got that audit back, as Mr. Joseph, to kind of put a pause on it until we could further discuss it. You know, we don't want to, we're trying to keep from having to cut any employees. We have 17 employees right now in the city of Garwood. And it's a pretty good number. Each department, you know, I feel like if we cut any from any department, then it's really going to hurt our
Service delivery.
service delivery. So
So does this retro?
it would not retro.
This would not retro, it would only be active for the current pay period, which ends next Tuesday.
So. Yes, ma'am.
I'm curious about it. Wondering, how does that going to affect contractual employees? I know that we have one coming up, we have a new contract.
All employees on color raises, it's across the board. So either all or none. It's not a
Pick and choose.
pick and choose. It's not. So every employee gets the same. If it's 4%, every employee gets 4%, even on top of the contract.
Come on.
I think so. No. Make a motion to accept. 4%?
4%.
You want to do the 4% now?
Yeah.
And
And
then
then 4% when it's. Is it the new fiscal year or the new calendar?
So for now, the motion would just be the 4% to take effect beginning this current pay period. And then at a later date, this is separate from the
We'll
motion.
talk about it.
At a later date, we'll talk about the remaining.
Ray has made a motion for the 4% cost of living adjustment.
I only got 4 people making
Mr. Jones has seconded that option, Ray made a motion for a 4% COLA raise at this point, to discuss the remaining 4% at a later date. Mr. Jones has seconded that motion. All in favor? Carries 5-0. 4 better than 0. Item number 16, discuss, review, and take any necessary action related to the proposed lease agreement for farm number 5543 for crop year 2023.
Is it the one out at the complex?
Yes, sir. This is the 10 acres out, the city-owned 10 acres outside, next to the baseball complex,
Yes.
by the tennis courts. It's like Mr. Douglas David has, he's the gentleman who's leased it from us for the last couple of years to farm corn. I believe he grows on it. And his, looks like a $500 lease for the year. Douglas David.
You did 50 an acre, right?
Yeah. $50 an acre.
You're not gonna get anybody to go out there and farm that small of a lot. No.
It's cropland. It's just raw land. It's
But are you not getting anything on the share of actual crop?
No.
Why not?
never have before.
This is essentially, when was this first agreement made? Several years ago. And it's a carryover. It's just been carried over, I should say. Now, we can go out and try and get a different agreement, see what else is there. It's just a matter of where staff time and city attorney time and resources essentially better suited. Something that's a small ROI. Yes, granted, we could probably pursue other options with this, but that's going to be a little later time than right now.
The only way, I know this because it's California, the only way you're gonna get anything off of it is if you buy the crop, buy the spray, you go in partners with them to do that.
Mhm.
And that's such a small acreage that you don't wanna do that. You don't wanna do that.
It financially makes sense to this gentleman because he farms the land directly adjacent to it, the neighboring property. And so for him to pick up the extra 10 acres at $500 to the city. It's, what did we get last year? Was it 500 or was it?
I believe it's 500.
And what,
You pay $500 a year for how long? A year? Right.
Well-
Used to be John Mullen.
Well, outside of this crop agreement, that land would not be used and probably would need to be maintained at some cost as well. So the fact that this gentleman is utilizing it,
And you're not gonna get Martinez to go to drag their stuff over there to do that.
Mhm.
The reason I say that is, when all the farmland sold around us, that leaves us with 45 acres. And so when now that other goes out of farmland, they're not gonna come do that for us, for
Mhm.
45 acres. It's not worth it to them.
Mhm.
for
the price of
45
diesel and
acres.
all that, it's to move the equipment
How
around.
many acres are we getting? Okay, so 10 acres there.
So
I think we've got 47 acres.
You do realize that Martinka Farms, right in the community, very close to that.
That's what
Yeah,
I said.
we've been in discussion
That's
with
who does our
Martinka.
farm, and they're not gonna come over there for 10 acres.
I,
I don't believe so.
we've been in discussion with Matthew Martinka also, and he said that if this gentleman doesn't want it at this price, then they would be interested in it.
Yeah.
But
And it's a share on the expenses, and then you take a proceed, a portion of the proceeds from the sale of our crop.
I don't know how you would track that. I mean, it's gonna yield depending on the year. And who's gonna give you an accurate accounting on what that is in 10 acres? I don't know how that would might be a bookkeeping nightmare.
And they called Jim the other day and said, hey, come over and bring your
Yeah,
checkbook.
we
This is
only,
what
we
you
only
owe
got a
us.
bushel of acre this year on corn and who
Yeah.
knows this year.
Yeah.
We don't have any way to manage it.
No, it Jim's.
It was 1,000 acres, it might be different.
It may be
Yeah.
worth it if you
Yeah.
had the big acreage, that's one thing, but for 10 acres, that's,
I think the maintenance cost of that lot alone.
the city can't
it's
maintain
gonna cost us
that.
more than $500 to mow it one time. I promise you.
And I promise you, we can't maintain it, no way.
So is there value in liquidating it?
I'm sorry.
We want to hold
It's just
land, we don't want to sell land.
Yeah. We don't want to sell it.
Yeah.
Becky Caldwell.
Right by the edge. After you pass the-
Well, if at any time, an example would be if that substation where the city's power runs through needs to expand, the city has land right there. It could be the expansion of park space. It could be the expansion of a future facility site where we potentially, as our public works department continues to grow and expand, we may need a site for city vehicles, fleet vehicles, material, what have you. So it's in the city's best interest to keep the land, to own the land.
And go on a little bit further, it's just off to the right. Right there. Yeah, before you get to the complex, yeah.
I'm gonna make a motion that we renew this lease to this gentleman for the number 5543 for the crop year of 2023.
Gotta be faster, gotta be faster, guys, come on.
Mr. Weaver's made a motion. I believe Vicky Cooper just barely beat Jesse
Just jump in.
with a second. All in favor? 5-0.
Let's see,
This thing is up. Moving on, item number 17, discuss, review, take any necessary action related to fiscal year 2022 audit engagement letter. As we just spoke on, we need to get this engagement letter into the auditor ASAP. That way we can get on his list. That way we're not waiting until after budget season to get our audits back.
Just talking about the contract, basically.
Yes, sir.
Yep, yes, sir.
You need a motion?
Mr. Uson has made a motion. Ray Usan made a motion. With the Philip Weaver second. All in favor? 5-0. Remind me to sign this tomorrow. Item number 18, discuss, review, take any necessary action related to safe routes to school procurement policy.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, City Council, as a condition of the Safe Routes to School funding from TxDOT, they require that we adopt a procurement policy as presented in the agenda packet. It's just to help comply with federal procurement law and their own procurement requirements as well. It's pretty boilerplate language.
For those that don't know, the city was awarded from TxDOT a grant. It's called the Safe Routes to School grant. It's basically just a sidewalk. And it leads from the front door that Bartlett Middle School, I believe, where the Bulldog painting is, and straight down Professor Powell, all the way to South Evie Street. That'd be North Evie Street, all the way to North Evie Street, and then connects to the sidewalk downtown in front of your post office. And so that's that phase of Safe Routes to School. 100% grant by TxDOT, $800 and some odd thousand.
Studio for that starts like 2024 or something?
Yeah, like the largest grant department's ever received.
Not anymore.
Yes, sir. I think summer of 20, you said 2024?
January 24.
Yes.
So you little over a year out.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Just need a motion.
Need a motion to adopt this procurement policy.
There was a citizen, there was a question in the audience.
Oh, sorry, question. Yes, ma'am.
You can take the motion in a second. Does this Safe Routes to School involve a traffic light at 95?
I don't think it did.
Might include a crosswalk, but not a traffic
There was
light.
a crosswalk at that point. We'd have to clarify with engineering on what it did include at 95. But there's, of course, obviously 95 is in consideration there. And there's something there. I can't remember if it was I don't think it was a traffic light.
Four-way stop at least.
I don't know.
Be a crosswalk or some type.
This thing's been going on forever. But it does go right through your living room.
Thank you, though.
Philip Weaver has made a motion, and you seconded that? With Ray Usan second. That was for the approval of the procurement policy. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Item number 19. Finally. Discuss, review, and take any necessary action related to the memorandum of understanding term sheet between Bartlett Farms Development and the City of Bartlett. All right. This is what Mr. Robert Zalkin's here for, and with his liquidity and the attorney. Thank you.
So you've been working with Miss Patty.
With Patty, yes. She knows what she's going on.
I hope you give her a hard time.
I will. Don't worry.
Very good.
Hey, not too hard. We're paying.
Mayor and City Council, this is related to an approximately 187, almost 188 acre plot of land located east of Bowie Street. It's basically between the cemetery and the south side of town. It's a lot right there. Not directly adjacent to Highway 95, but one lot outside of that, adjacent to it. No, very close to being right on 95. But the essence of this whole development is it has the potential to almost double the city's population when it's built out in its entirety. So needless to say, it's probably the city's first development, and really probably since the city was first established. So this is a really, really big deal, a really, really big step in the phased growth of the city. We talked about those ripple effects of the Austin region and of course Taylor. Well, this is really that first wave that we're going to experience. So we're very excited. Robert and his team has been a great partner so far through this whole process. And so, we're very excited that we're making progress on it. The term sheet that was placed in the agenda packet outlines basically the general agreement between the city and the developer moving forward. One thing to keep in mind is this is essentially non-binding. What is going to be binding is the development agreement, which we will continue to work on once the concept plan and a few other items have been reviewed and discussed.
Is that in the city?
No, sir, it is not in the city limits. Majority of it is in the ETJ. There is a section of it that is outside the ETJ. However, if we do a phased annexation, that should, I believe, complete at some point. That whole property will be in the ETJ. Just a matter of phasing it in a certain
Both
sequence.
sides are agreeable to.
Is it part of the flood stage down there? Goes over the creek.
The other one.
There any, would you like to make any comments or anything?
I'm happy to answer questions.
Any questions from council? No? So there are several components to this, as you mentioned, Councilmember Jones. A good portion of this property is in a flood zone, and so one thing that this term sheet outlines is that there will be a park or open space dedication, and the initial thought would be to dedicate that floodplain zone as city park space. So that's a great agreement. It helps in a number of areas. One, potentially being a Texas Parks and Wildlife grant match. We can use an in-kind match, which would be the donation of that park space. So the other part of that is a planned unit development, or PUD. That's what that acronym is in there. The other one you'll see in there is a PID, a Public Improvement District. We'll continue to discuss what these items mean and how they are implemented in development practices and so forth. So,
Michael shaking his head.
yeah. So needless to say, we have discussed this with city attorney. That's Mess Report McDonald. Patty Akers has been a lead in this. She has made a career in municipal law and in development as well. So she's been a great resource for the city through this. And of course, our engineering team has also been a great resource as well. We had a meeting with Quiddity a few weeks ago on Temple, so very excited about this. If there aren't any questions.
Party farm development.
Right now, it's just part of the farms.
That's what they've been calling it.
Mhm.
The other question was estimated value of the house price of the house. Just guessing.
Yeah, with this market, it's all in the air. Yeah, still to be determined based on, when that, demand when the houses start filling up.
I don't care what you think. Honest, who's built the building, who's built it.
Somebody already knocked the stakes that I think
Yeah, is that about the research you have?
I think it's got improvements and all that.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much. We'll just keep it.
A metal one.
Yes, ma'am.
Just for curiosity, what you're saying is you're putting these parks in the floodplain?
It'd be dedicated park space. We put floaties on the swings,
Oh.
so you'll always be above the water. No, it'd be dedicated park space. I mean, you're not gonna build any, there wouldn't be any structures,
Could be water.
facilities or anything like that built in the flood zone.
Is it gonna be a tank of sorts?
I can envision like a, you know, I mean, because Donahoe Creek runs through there, or however you say it, the Donahoe, Donahue, Donahue.
Don't know who.
There's a creek that runs through there. And maybe, you know, some, like a little park space around there, walking trail, stuff like that, you know, and a little fishing, you know, pier on the creek or something, who knows? So this is, you know,
Baseball field.
baseball field, you build it, they will come, you know, and no.
Yeah.
500-ish. Not all built at once.
It'd be over multiple phases. As the cells off, keep going backwards.
Ray, come back, come back.
We just need a motion to approve the term sheet as presented. We just need a motion to approve the term sheet as presented.
Okay.
Do y'all have
I'd like to
anything you
make a
wanna add?
motion that we approve the term sheet.
Did you have anything you wanted to add?
You don't necessarily have anything to present.
Just be available for questions.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming.
All you have to say through all of it.
It's been entertaining.
We'll put you first. I'd like to make a motion to approve the MOU term sheet between Bartlett Farms Development and City of Bartlett.
Oh, glad you're here, Jesse.
We got a Vicky Cooper motion, and I think Gail Jones beat you on that one. We got a Vicky Cooper motion and a Jesse Luna.
You better not say Jesse.
Jesse Luna second. All in favor to approve the term sheets? Then they don't even vote on it. Come on. Go. All against. Motion carries 5-0. All right. Thank y'all for coming.
Can we take a quick recess?
We'll take a quick reset at this point.
5-10 minutes.
Can I ask y'all a question?
At 8:18.
You know, there's going to be some curious people. They don't want some answers to be answered. Who that be? You guys?
Take a quick recess here at 8:18 p.m. A bathroom break. We ready? Ready to reconvene in the open session, 8:35 PM. We're on item number 20, discuss, review, and take any necessary action related to the Peach Street wastewater emergency upgrade. Okay. Pictures are on your packets.
So this is the, for those in the audience, this is just the scope summary. This photo's in the way. This is at the the intersection of Peach and Kelly. This is Clark Street, right up here, Kelly Street, Peach Street. There's an existing manhole that's approximately 6 feet deep here. It flows east, flows south from these properties up here. There should be a manhole at this intersection here.
What street is that?
This is Kelly
Okay.
and Peach. And Jackson is just south right here. Somewhere at this intersection, it's clogged or blocked, something to that effect, and it's causing sewer backups at this property here, at this manhole, and this property right here. And that's one of the pictures that you'll see. So here's the existing manhole. Here's the proposed site for the new manhole at the intersection of the city's sewer main. And this is what it currently looks like. You can see it's about 6 feet deep, and it's basically at the top. It's full. So that's the result. This hose here is our city guys, our sewer jet that jets water to clear out wastewater lines. It got stuck, so they had to close it.
Siphon hose, and I couldn't get the plug.
So basically, the reason this project is an emergency is because of how full that manhole is. If it continues to be a persistent issue, there's the potential for sewer overflow. And there, the house right next to this has, we saw it multiple times, there are children playing in the yard, and then that could get into a drainage creek and so forth. So this needs to be dealt with sooner rather than later.
You have to rebuild it or have it cleaned up?
No, the integrity of the manhole itself, once it was vacked out, it was in fairly good condition. The issue is that there's no manhole at the intersection where you can clean it out. This one or the one before?
This one, that's where the manhole is currently at, the one you just saw a picture of this floor. And down here, there's not a manhole.
There should be one
And there should be something there, because right now we got a very large pipe, 6 or 8 inch or 10 inch or 12, something like this, coming down Beach Street, and it's dumping into another pipe coming down Kelly Street, where you got a large pipe dumping into another large pipe, and somewhere in there it's broken.
in the seats.
Where that circle is, somewhere right in that range, because the house up here is backing up. Property over here, the manhole over here is backing up. These going this way are clear
This one and this
because
one.
they're past the clog.
Mhm.
But we've got a major issue going on right there that we've got to get resolved.
Mhm.
One near, Stephen Nero.
Oh, that, okay, yes, I know, yeah,
He's right here.
That's Mr. Nero. This is
right down the road from that 3-story yellow house.
yes.
John Newman is there.
And these are tapped off Clark Street, so we know that these aren't part of the issue. So once we realized the nature of the problem, we started to contact multiple vendors, and those are the quotes that you saw in the packet. One was from Peabody. If you recall, they were the ones who did our Emma and Elm Street wastewater project several months ago. Their quote came in at $54,380. Eagle Eye, if you recall, they're the ones who did the Bell Street Waterline project on the other side of the block here. Theirs came in at, just for the, I believe the main replacement, the sewer line, it was $14,500. But when you add in the alternates to include the new manhole, then that gets up to about, I think it's 22 or 23,000, somewhere in that range. It just depends on, that could be your, I don't want to do it price, maybe, depend on contractor availability, material availability, all kinds of things.
Transfer of equipment.
I know you and I don't do anything. That's it.
And then from Bell Contractors, they've done previous wastewater and water work with the city over the past couple of years. And their quote for a new manhole at that intersection is $19,400. And so of those three quotes, this was the lowest. This is the one that achieved the job. We have previous work history with them through separate projects, so we know they do quality work.
All three of these contractors were used.
Yes.
Reused.
So we have given the notice to proceed to Bell Contractors to install that new manhole. They're tentatively scheduled to begin this Thursday with a completion time of sometime early next week. So hopefully, we're hoping a number of things. One, especially before the Thanksgiving holiday, where folks do a lot of cooking, a lot of family gatherings, grease and what have you, starts getting into lines again. It has the potential to kind of exacerbate the issue. And then also, now we're getting to a little bit more rainy season. Any I&I and flow and infiltration issues will then contribute to demand on impact on the city sewer system. So that can lead to, again, additional issues. This is more of an update. When we get to the next agenda item, we'll talk about the funding component, which we've identified the most feasible option for that.
So we don't need a motion?
Yes. No action on this one.
That's item number 21.
So no action.
So item number 20, there was no action. Now we're getting into item number 21. Discuss, review, take necessary action related to the Williamson County American Rescue Plan Act contract for the Peach Street wastewater emergency upgrade.
So, Mayor, Council, if you recall, Williamson County allocated $500,000 of their ARPA dollars to the city for water and wastewater projects. The only previously approved agreement from this funding was for the Clark Street lift station up to $50,000. That project is also well underway. But this is the identified funding for the previously mentioned project. So the $19,400, we're going to request Williamson County reimburses for that expense through this pool of funding. That it's a wastewater project.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We need to approve the.
Motion to approve that.
I'll second it. Maybe all in line,
Didn't even give me the
We had a question. Go ahead, sir.
I just regards to that's where the manholes gonna be in it. Wouldn't that hinder drainage, like if they do the road, it's got to put pipes underneath there?
Yeah.
That was an approximate location. It won't be in that exact spot. It might be a little bit. It just depends on where the sewer main is. And when they go out, Bell Contractors already done a site visit, so they've got a general sense of what needs to be done. But they won't be able to tell you anything definitive until they actually pothole it and dig it up and see exactly where that main is.
Well, they're connected to the sewer, ain't it?
Is that
The manhole?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be near.
right? Yes, sir. But there was a motion on the table.
Yes, we got a Philip Weaver motion with the Ray Usan second. All in favor? Carries 5-0. We'll turn that into Wilco.
And we'll try and get this on their next Tuesday agenda, which with Thanksgiving being next week, I don't know if they'll have a meeting next week, but at their earliest agenda, we'll get it on there for approval on reimbursements.
Item number 22, discuss and review and take any necessary action related to the downtown Christmas decorations. So this is something I asked Joseph to put on at the last minute, just because we're getting towards the holiday season. And I was across the street, I looked at our Christmas decorations. They're pretty shabby. We've been using those things forever, and they either need a lot of work or they just need replacing. So we're talking about simplifying it a little bit this year and just doing maybe some wreaths on the downtown poles with some ribbon and some lighting on the wreaths or the pole itself.
But if you use the old lights, wouldn't it follow the Historical.
They're definitely historic.
Believe it or not, they're not that old.
It's hard to keep the cameras.
I know it doesn't look that way, but they're not. They're several years old.
So how much money are we talking
Something
about?
like that, yeah.
That's what we were gonna ask, is like a council to give like a not to exceed for the downtown decorations. And if we recycle some of the old ones, not so old ones,
You want to talk about the
Then-
content?
yeah,
Oh, go back. So,
then we can recycle some of the not so old ones.
Well, excuse me,
Oh, sorry.
could we put like you know how back in the day, I know back in the day, I understand. But we had that pole with some lights.
Actually,
It's a simple thing.
me and
Isn't it out here?
me and the
It was over
Weaver,
here.
me and the Dreamweaver have talked about that this past week. We this is my sidekick.
But,
My buddy, we've talked about it this week. Since we cut down the trees out here, we can do some poles here. Maybe do a cluster of 2 or 3 or 4 Christmas trees out there. Get some big boxes, paint them up. Make them look like gifts underneath. We can make this little winter wonderland over here.
Yeah.
This area right here.
Come to Port Pirates.
We'll put Amazon boxes out there and see how many of them disappear. Got to do something with that sewage that's in that manhole. So, go ahead, Joseph. You talked about the concept. Did y'all see the poles here?
Yeah.
The street poles. I think last year, was it, Chris Adams went and wrapped them all with Christmas lights out of his own pocket?
I started to say, somebody did it, I thought last year. I
And
thought it
then,
was the city, but it wasn't.
I think it was,
How many poles are there?
well, the,
Did that work?
So we're talking $100 a pole or?
I guess, well, right now, in the approved budget, city council allocated 5,000 for Christmas light displays, and this would be pulled from that funding. So basically, the concept would be, if council concurs with this, what is it called, garland? Is it, what is it called? Wrap around the pole, and then a nice red bow of some type or wreath right at the base of the light post itself with a lighting component attached to it. So, simple, easy to implement, and adds a nice flair to downtown.
You can't do it. Yeah, that would look pretty.
Are there any other Christmas components that council would like to implement as part of this or for this holiday season outside of light posts? And there was lights for a lighted tree, essentially, right next.
We're talking about maybe doing 3 trees out front.
like right here, right here on this corner.
Mhm.
Boom. I think she plans on opening up once she gets her CO across the street. So,
I think.
Whenever she passes her building from there, that's when she opens.
You said about putting garden in the poles, put lights on it, right? Or-
yes.
But do the, not to sound negative, but multiple working.
There's plugs at the bottom of all the poles, and last year I recall there was maybe 4 or 5 plugs that were bad. They just need to be replaced. $20 a pole. Get the pole for the part. Get somebody to do it. I'll go do it. Replace the plugs. Get them all working again.
Like Vicky said back in the day, put lights back on top of the building.
Boy, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that's really popular. That's going to take partnership with the downtown building owners to do that, but I think it's a great long-term goal. Absolutely.
He was the one who said no to it, so.
Okay. I guess we got the game plan. Any other council thoughts, inputs on this one?
Just make sure we have something.
We're just gonna maybe not to exceed $5,000.
I was thinking then, don't exceed what you've already got in the budget plan for it.
Okay. Or, yeah, that'd be my initial thoughts, not to exceed 5,000.
It doesn't seem like it would cost that much.
No, but we're just saying not.
I limit it.
Yeah.
We don't need action at this time. Not if it's going to remain within the budgeted amount.
We need to kind of decide what it is we want to do, and then we can really put a hard number to it.
Vicky's gonna go out to the old farm, cut down a tree, and we're gonna have Grand Central Station over here.
Yeah,
Cut down a mesquite tree.
yeah.
Mhm.
We got a couple of
We
things.
just, try to go over the budget and see what we can do within that budget. Did you get rid of that?
And I'll second that, because
Mr. John, who made the motion?
Maybe we'll try to stay in our budget, see what we have, use, not use, throw away, whatever.
Mr. Jones has made a motion to stay within budget for the previously talked about approved $5,000. Vicky Cooper seconded. All in favor? Carries 5-0.
How soon as that meeting?
Before Christmas.
As soon as we get the stuff for it.
Yeah. December 24th, Jesse, they'll have it on this.
They're all gonna have it on the weekend.
Okay.
We do have executive session.
Yes.
I can't.
I'm sorry. I can turn.
Yeah, but I can't see you read it, so hold on, I gotta wait for the lights. Come on, we're talking, go. Lights,
I'm going.
we gotta, come on, we got place to be. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. All right, at this time, we'll move into executive session. Council will move into executive session. In accordance with the Texas Government Code, Section 551.001, the city council will recess into executive session. Closed meeting to discuss the following. Item number 23, deliberate the 551.074, deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, compensation, reassignment, duties, discipline, and or dismissal of a public employee or officer regarding public works supervisor. And item number 4, 551.074, deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, compensation, reassignment, duties, discipline, and or dismissal of a public employee or officer regarding our groundsman. At this time, we will go into executive session. It's at 8:52 p.m. And we're gonna step right next door in the room and meet, and we'll be back.
There's chairs in there. We put them in here.
Oh, yes. Exactly. Oh, she did. She didn't. She said, I couldn't remember what she did. Oh, man. And he called me when I was on the phone. I think we're supposed to be there. I can't remember. Was I supposed to be there? It's supposed to be. Yeah, this morning. She missed it. I was already. This didn't even touch my face. No, I mean, just like washing dishes and then it was just getting Did they put stuff on it? Because it looks like it's coming
just says, I was 6 months ago. I used to go every day. But then I figured out over 6 weeks is not bad. Compared to what I used to go every month. She said, just I go back and still not. But they speak English. Local people. This is good.
Get to visit with Logan today.
She was supposed to work.
She got a message on it.
I don't know if it was supposed to be, but I think maybe it's today, I'm supposed to be up there.
Yeah, I was just wondering. And then she called Dad, and they come in and said, well, these ones are when did she sign up here? And I said, this morning.
Because she didn't tell me, so I couldn't find her.
And so then I texted her to say, well, it was supposed to be this morning, I don't know. Because she called me on the day, so I didn't have her. So, and the text came back and said, you attended to text to a line. Never mind. I'll see her on Thursday.
She's on a couple of
Yeah.
Saturday, didn't she? And she got the good stuff on this. Okay. Did she come on? Okay. She didn't.
He was 857. Did you watch one? Yeah, I don't know if they close at 9 or 10. It's just not.
Okay.
Well, Dean might have to remind her.
I don't know, Modine, reminder.
I would have to remind her.
Oh, you would have to remind her.
And she came in and she said, I'm a little bit late. Or you're a little bit lucky.
I'm surprised that Ruth signed up.
For like 6 times.
Modine,
Ruth,
oh, Ruth, did she not make it?
no. One time. About an hour before.
She had good intentions.
So we had the best time, just talked and talked about how she was up. And she is not, she is signed up. So
I'm surprised she didn't sign up.
each of us keep waiting and then I come in. And while she did come, she was in her seniority. Doing it with the computer, so I couldn't walk and when she comes in, she can just do it on her own and she has to do it. I just.
She's a good teacher. She's a good teacher. She's a good teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
She's the one who wants to do.
Did you see that you have some books? For GSL? That's a lot for harder.
All of our CDs,
We would sell those adult movies, right?
and they sell them adult movies, so that we can go find a really nice,
What time's the thing? What time do you do it? Text me if you find it at.
Oh, you need your new?
I said, sure, go ahead.
I'll take you. They don't have it, I've got the bottle at home. You feel like I'm very sorry. This is kind of like, I did something wrong there. Because they put the stuff on them, and then they polish it, and then stick your fingers and heat it, and you. Well, yeah, for about a minute, mine went in there. I didn't do it back.
And also the two start talking, we start laughing.
One time, when we were women, I went and there was 4 young girls, and they were doing that, and they were laughing. I said, "We're not talking about me." She went, girl. You know, the thing is, I do plants, I did, wash dishes, I did. And my sister always said, "You got the hot side, you know." I'm just, I'm lucky that, that's, I pretty regularly walk about berries. Since this lady was in,
Seriously, text me and if you can get it, great. If not, I have something else. All right, we'll go. So after executive session, this is it.
that is it. Voting on one thing. And then my sister.
And who is your sister?
Okay, she was sitting across.
Yep.
She went. Yes, she went. That was what the reason about it, so she tried to do it.
I'd like to see them have some things that are not substances. What's been trouble with you? We want. Our videos.
Everybody liked
You didn't.
it. He's in the. Well, that's good.
We weren't.
On the TV.
He's already started shopping. That'd be hard.
Chocolate burger. I know it, I just want it on. Yeah, she does. I think she told us she's in for it. I'm just saying, I'm kind of quiet for us. Remember to my other friends, I'm never next one. Usually. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to. I mean, I'm still able to use it, it still hurts, it's still dries. But yeah, I still, same thing, same like this, I scraped up with your back. And I mean, it's taken, it's like a 5 weeks. So first is too long, and then the winter, the summer, the winter, sometimes never we wait until like this is fall. So there's some I think it's supposed to be in the So about once I hit, once I
Yeah. So I will work Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday. Yes. Thursday I have to work. Yes. I know. Yeah, because it's just to do something. I think I'm gonna do just to do something special. Is that right? He knows. The one with the eaves and the church property, the street church property. I have 15. You had that in your eyes. It's a title. So the title. She told me correct. Conversation off. The one with his. Yes. Yes. There's permits in most of the windows. We did open, ice cream shops. And it's not. One of the guys did say he was doing a good job in special. So she made trust me, I know you're not. At that time, I was living in a market. 14 years, and see, mortgage rates were going up, housing was going up. She works. Yeah. Because the thing about the RV is just that you don't stay in the RV. You want space and whatever. You go sit outside. When you entertain your family, you sit outside. I sold it. A neighbor's using it for which is just perfect. And you did some fixing up, didn't you? And you use it. It's not pretty. But the bunch yeah, she is. It's for people 15 and up to something like that. We just got that. Did you know? No. That's too many people too. Too much more than that. But they Sure. Then they have huge tent and they have like 3 tables in the but it's
It's for Yuri. Was it Yuri? Or was it big? That was or that big was who he lost power. I purchased the house when I was a
Because he said, well, I'll come to the first of those. They talk to me. Yes, cooks to me, but he said he put the runners on.
my heater not stay up with the cold and the water eventually froze. So there was a generator it's separate rooms. Yeah. I made breakfast for everybody and eat lunch.
Really?
What's that? That was in New Zealand. Oh, okay. And I meant, I don't know. That's the last night. Or exactly. Yeah.
He wasn't much different
Mm-hmm.
more things.
Yep. Between the two of them.
Just like you.
There's some good things and small things that I can do. So I did. Is an electrician. The some and none of the electrical outfits are wrong.
We all live Oh, no,
Did you get them here?
No.
yeah.
We definitely get the best. Let's talk with us.
Susan abandoned ship.
Susan, what skipped out? She skipped out?
She skipped out on me.
Way to go, Susan.
We love our city council so much.
The mic was on, we should have been here 3-4 years ago.
And what?
Should have been here 3-4 years ago.
I was.
No, you weren't here for,
I just been to Kansas City Council meeting.
No. you weren't here for those other three.
Yeah.
Well, there was a reason I didn't attend those night meetings though.
Because I wasn't in on.
Nothing got done. Too busy fighting.
Huh?
Yeah.
Nothing got done. Too busy fighting. Fight.
We can't agree on
Jack and I would have
Yeah,
gone around and
yeah,
around.
like king of the hill.
Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Kind of miss Dean doing Morse code. I remember one time Chad was on he got an argument with me.
Are you on?
Yes.
Who, me?
Remember?
Oh, yeah, many a time.
What's up?
All right, we're gonna reconvene in the open session at 9:26 PM. Pretty short, wasn't it? 30 minutes. Item A, take action, if any, on matters discussed in executive session. So, number 23 was 551.074, deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, compensation, reassignment, duties, discipline, and or dismissal of a public employee or officer regarding the public works supervisor.
That was no action taken. on that one.
No action taken on that one. Moving on to item number 24, deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, compensation, reassignment, duties, discipline, and or dismissal of a public employee or officer regarding the groundsman.
I'll make that motion that we need, so what that compensation will be.
Yes, sir.
Promote him to the apprenticeship program. And take his base to $17.25 an hour.
Was that dependent on any,
It was dependent on three things. It's an active CDL, class B, I believe it was. His, what?
1 year anniversary.
Yeah, the 1 year anniversary, and then the third one was the, what was the,
Kind of like a knowledge exam.
oh yeah, just a, yeah.
No.
Just a second.
Mr. Weaver has made a motion to promote Mr. Groundsman, Brandon Garcia, to $17.25 an hour upon the completion of 1 year anniversary, coming up very soon. He passes and obtains an active Class B CDL driver's license and the completion of a competency exam. And who was the second? Jesse Luna has seconded that.
Who provided that exam?
that can be developed in-house?
Jesse Luna has seconded. All in favor? Motion does carry 5-0. Congratulations.
Yeah, we don't see it.
Any future agenda items? And so we'll need a last motion.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Vicky Cooper has made a motion to adjourn.
Or second for that?
Second, Jay Luna seconded.
Who seconded?
Jesse,
One second.
Jesse.
we'll call the meeting at 9:29 PM. Thank you all for attending.